back. We're back after quite a long pause with this weekly live streams, but we are coming back because by popular request, you guys like these weekly updates. And many people have also asked us, hey, Ivan, when are we coming back? When are these weekly updates coming back? So I hope the sound is good. It's been a bit rusty for me to do them yet again, but we're going to restart our good old tradition of weekly Q&As. And also we're going to expand it more with workshops where we will have different people in our team doing workshops now and then with different use cases. So whether it is building an NFT page, whether it is doing something else, is going to be in the coming workshops. And we're going to do this weekly as well. So all in all, welcome everyone who is watching and tuning in. We're going to do approximately 30 minutes. And maybe with time, they're going to be longer. But I do have some scripted material and I do have some Q&A advanced. Let me just check how it is in terms of sound. Let's see. There, it should be good, but you never know, because it's live television, and as you know, live television, you gotta see there. Okay, it works good. It works good. So all in all, guys, let's start with the pre-scripted topics, and then we're gonna go to Q&A and discuss whatever you want. First and foremost, as you know, we do have a massive hackathon coming up with Chronos blockchain. They are sponsoring it. We have a prize pool of $65,000. You can go to moralis.io/Chronos hackathon and sign up. It's very, very important that you do, because the hackathon already begins in 4 days. And this is key, because the more you can practice in hackathons, the more you can ensure that your craft gets better, the easier it will be for you to do something in production. Once the great idea hits you, once you have a good founding team, you found your founding team, if you have really developed your skills in hackathons, it's going to be just easier. So I definitely recommend you to go into all hackathons you can participate in terms of time. And you see our Chronos gaming hackathon starting already in 4 days. So time is running out to sign up. Use the link below and sign up as soon as possible. So that's number one in terms of important announcements. Number two is very, very key. The fact that we are moving towards Moralis 2.0. As you know, last week, we released our new SDKs, and our new SDKs are for backend only. So they don't have frontend. And let me explain to you that this will actually bring more frontend, because as we can now integrate with Next.js, and we have already many tutorials for Next.js. If you go to our docs right here, and then you go to tutorials, and you see, for example, authentication, here you are self-hosting everything. And it is as easy as with Moralis server, where you can sign in users with MetaMask, and they get an address and profile ID and the whole user session set up. Or whether you want to do it with Wallet Connect, or whether you want to do it with Python, it works exactly the same. Or whether you want to do it with C#. So we are expanding our reach in terms of backend frameworks we support, but this also means it's easier to build any kind of front end with Moralis. Why? Because we will soon, already tomorrow, probably publish docs how to use Moralis with Firebase. And as you know, through Firebase, we get all kinds of front ends, whether it is mobile, whether it is web, whether it is anything. So that's very, very important. And at the same time, also, by focusing on the backend, we open source the current Moralis server. You can self-host it yourself, and you can do whatever you want with the current Moralis server, because this is what has happened with our approach. That Moralis server was the first version of Moralis, and it has, as you know, if you're using it, it has a few core features that make it a Web3 infrastructure. So number one is the auth. The fact that you can log in anyone with just one line of code is an important part of the Moralis server. And another important part is the syncs. The fact that you can sync transactions in real time and get historical transactions, and so on and so forth. The rest, like for example, the SDK and everything else, it is already open source as Parse server. So there is an open source project called Parse server. You should check it out. And it is basically Moralis server, but without Web3. And it is key, because basically you can already now use Moralis server without Web3. It is called Parse server. It is open source. And so by open sourcing Moralis server, we ensure that everything that is Web3 can be accessed by you anywhere. And how do we open source? Well, we take this auth feature and we make an API out of it, so that you can do Moralis server, or you can do Firebase. This is what we're publishing tomorrow, how to connect all Moralis features to Firebase. Or you can use auth in your own backend, in whatever backend you have, or you can use Moralis auth with Supabase, let's say, or any other kind of backend as a service, or you can use it with AWS GameKit, which is, as you know, gaming platform for on AWS, which is already integrated with Unreal, with Unity, and a bunch of other game engines, or PlayFab. So this is the power of Moralis 2, that by opening up everything on the backend as APIs, we can open source Moralis server, so you can self-host it, or you can connect it to any other backend, including your own. And the same applies to Syncs as well, that by making Syncs an API, where you can get Syncs into your self-hosted Moralis server, or you can get your Syncs into Firebase, into PlayFab, basically everything right here you can also do with the Syncs. It also gives you a bunch of power by basically self-hosting everything, and choose yourself where you want to be, what tech stack you want to be. So this unlocks a lot of tech stacks for all Moralis users, because before, as you know, it was all dependent on us. Which SDK do we make? Do we make React SDK? Well, we've made the React SDK, but many people have asked us, hey, when is Flutter? When is Flutter coming out? And the thing is we want to focus on Web3. And there are already many great Flutter SDKs for all kinds of use cases, including Firebase, Supabase, PlayFab, AWS GameKit. All of them have all kinds of different frontends for all kinds of different frameworks. So this way, we can get React, Flutter, Angular, React Native, iOS Native, Android Native, anything. And this is what I'm mostly excited about. How many more tech stacks we can unlock in the shortest amount of time. So this is very, very key in terms of Web3 adoption and Web3 growth. Because our big mission at Moralis, really why we're here and what we want to achieve in this world, is, as you know, to reach 1 million devs. How can we take 1 million devs from Web 2 and how do we airdrop them into Web 3 in the easiest fashion? And let me pull this up for you. We just had it today in our internal presentation in the team. Look here. We want to achieve 1 million devs. And what is lacking right now for us to reach 1 million devs? Well, what is lacking is basically what we said here. You can use Moralis today for React, for a few other platforms, but not for all of them. And with Moralis 2, we are unlocking that you can integrate Web3 into any tech stack. And that is why we also have adjusted our slogan: integrate Web3 into any tech stack. If you want to self-host, perfect. If you want to use some hosted service like Heroku or Firebase or Upright, perfect. So our new slogan is integrate Web3 into any tech stack, whatever you're coming from, because that is what will decrease the friction so much. And it will increase the popularity of Web3 so much that we will see a flood of new developers rushing into Web3. So this is key, this is very important, and this is why we are transitioning towards this. And so our docs are up and coming as well. So you have, by the way, the old docs is always here. It's in V1 docs. You can see all the old docs. But as you know, we also have our new docs, which are around this approach that you can connect to Next.js, for example, here, or to Python, or to C#, and soon there's going to be like 10 times more content here. Or when it comes to NFT use cases, we're going to have a full section right here for NFT use cases. So now we just published NFT gated website, which is basically that you can create a website where some parts of the website are only allowed to be seen and accessed by certain users that have certain NFTs. So you can already now go and check it out. If you know JavaScript and you know React, this will be very, very easy for you. As you can see, it's a very short tutorial, because this is also the power of Moralis 2. It allows you to create self-hosted, self-managed, full stack Web3 application very, very easily. Extremely easily. Or if you don't want self-host, you can use something like Firebase. It's also very simple. So this is in terms of the recent developments with Web3. I see some people in the chat. What's up, guys? I hope that as we're getting into the tradition of more and more weekly live streams, we're gonna get back to our all-time high of, I think at all-time high last year we had like 100 people watching live at the highest, 100 Web3 developers watching live at the highest. So welcome, by the way, everyone. Smash the like if you want this Q&As to be weekly, and if you enjoy this kind of content, so we know. Moralis is legit. Jared, thanks a lot. Or learning programming with Moralis now at JavaScript. Yeah, that's good. So you are in the academy, right? So in the academy, we're gonna expand a lot with this kind of content, how to use Moralis 2 in Academy. Looking forward to native iOS. Yeah, that's perfect. So basically, let me show you how it will be with, and you can already now start getting into it. So what you do is that you go to the internet and then you search Firebase iOS, okay? And you start already learning this, okay? You go here and one second. So you can already now today start getting into this. It says add Firebase to your Apple project. You go here, you sign up for their account, and you start integrating this. So basically, you need to learn this, how to use Firebase in your Apple project. Because what we will do is that we will just add a short, very, very small integration into Firebase, and then we are already in your Apple project as well. The same thing is going to happen for Android. The same thing is going to happen for Flutter as well. So if you want already, you should already now start learning all of this, because this will help you. The same thing we will do with Supabase. So you come here to Supabase. You see, it is the same idea. It is the same idea that it is backend as a service platform. Let's see which SDKs do they have. API. I think these guys, they are newer. They are open source. I don't know if they have that many SDKs even, to be honest. But they are up. Let's see. Create you. I think they just have JavaScript for now. But this guy's also gonna have a bunch of different SDKs. Another one which is key. Let's say you're a game developer. You don't want native iOS. You want gaming. Well, it's very easy for you as well. You go to something like AWS GameKit, and here you explore and you start using it already, because this is kind of like, you can think of it kind of like Firebase, a bit more complex, but for gaming. So if you want to do games, you need to use AWS GameKit as your backend as a service. And Moralis is also going to be plug and play, so you can use Moralis Auth, you can use Moralis Syncs, and so on and so forth. Let me, by the way, guys, one second. Let me just turn on the light. It's getting a bit dark. 1 second. Give me do some push-up while I'm doing this. Okay, guys, I'm back. I'm back, and I'm shining, as you can see. Let's see what we're speaking about gaming. So if you want gaming, you go here. And all in all, within a few months, we hope to have this very rich, vast amount of integrations, so that whoever comes into Web3, whoever wants to do something in Web3, they can easily learn, they can easily get into it. And that's how we reach 1 million devs. Yo, SA General, what's up? Is it possible to inject window.ethereum on browsers that don't have MetaMask? So window.ethereum is, you need some kind of injected provider, it's called. So it is either MetaMask or it is something else. You could also get away with using something like Web3 Auth. If your users don't have MetaMask, check this out. And we're gonna have integration with this as well. So this is basically like, it fakes MetaMask, okay? It fakes MetaMask, but you log in using the wallet, using your email, and then it creates a wallet on the backend, basically. So that's one solution. Another solution is magic.link, which is the same thing. It fakes your Ethereum window.ethereum, and you log in using email, and then it also creates an address for you. So it's totally possible. I mean, you can also fake window.ethereum yourself. It's a bit more complex, but you can fake it as well. Window.ethereum in itself is just a provider. You can create any provider you want. But if you're interested in that kind of thing, let me see, how is it called? It is an EIP for that. If you learn that, you can fake any provider. You can like replace a wallet with your own server, basically. And then you can tell the website that you have a lot of ETH, and it will show it to you on the website. But of course, if you try to do the transaction, nothing will happen. It is called, all of these standards, if you're interested in learning them, it's very interesting. And you should know them, by the way. I mean, if you are in Web3 and you are getting into this, let me show it to you. It's called EIP. So if you learn this, it basically will teach you how a website communicates with a wallet like MetaMask, and what kind of language, what kind of interface MetaMask uses in order to tell your browser what kind of tokens you have, what kind of stuff you have. And as you can see, it is through window.ethereum. But of course, window.ethereum is not like it verifies the information. So that's why you can have something like Magic Link who fakes the entire thing, and they just create a wallet for you. It's not like a real wallet, but it doesn't matter because it's all abstracted away from via the provider EIP 1193. And what makes it so nice, this EIP, is that you as a website developer, you don't have to care. You don't have to care whether they're using Wallet Connect or MetaMask or Web3 Auth or Magic Link, or whether there is some new way of authenticating in the future, maybe that you come up with, because it's all the same EIP and it looks exactly the same to the application. So I think that's the power of Web3. We're so good at standards. We should even get some kind of Nobel Prize for setting standards. I mean, just think about it. In a few years, Ethereum has ERC20 standard, ERC721. We have this standard, that standard. Like there's a million standards that are used by the community. We're very good at complying, except for NFTs. I mean, NFTs, we're horrible at complying. That's why our NFT API is the biggest API in the world, because we solve so many edge cases, guys, on a daily basis. It's crazy. Some people, man, there is a EIP, okay? EIP, whether it is for 721 or 1155, you see, I mean, at the end of the day, it is not followed. There is clear how you do an NFT here. Just follow it. The same with 1155. People don't follow it, I can tell you. People that are doing NFTs, they don't follow it. Some of them don't follow it because they were invented before the EIP, like CryptoPunks or CryptoKitties. Then you have a valid excuse why you don't follow the EIP. But then most of the people, they don't follow the standard and they launch their NFT after the standard was created. So that's why our NFT API is, I think, currently the biggest in the world, because we spend so much time massaging all the data and making it work. Although on the blockchain, it's a mess. But overall, the great thing about ETH and our community here in blockchain is that we're very good at setting standards in general and following them. And that's why we are so successful as a development community. Let's see. I want to join Moralis now. Well, you can just go to Moralis.io, or if you want to learn, go to academy.moralis.io if you're like new to blockchain. Hello, Jacob. Would you recommend learning Web3 development on Moralis for complete newbies? I started programming 3 weeks ago. Well, you should learn JavaScript, and then you should learn React, and then you can go and do Moralis, basically. When you're starting out, and look, if you're just starting out with JavaScript, just learn it well. Learn JavaScript, learn React. And then once you know how to do some stuff in React, then you can easily come into any Web3. If you want to do actual full stack interfaces, if you don't want to do interfaces, then just learn JavaScript and then do Solidity. Then you can do some smart contracts on the backend. But I would say if you're fully new, just do some normal websites. It's going to be easier for you. Or if you're fully new, I can teach you where to go, by the way. You go to academy.moralis.io, because this is what we've been teaching for years here in Web3. You go here, then you go to learn. Let me see if I can show you here. Then you go to Ethereum Programming 101. Like if you want some easy here, and this whole project will end with us building a deck. So Ethereum Smart Contract Programming. Oh, it's 201. Let's see. There should be some. Let's see. There should be a 101 here somewhere also. Yeah, there it is. Here it is. Man, the fonts. We need to tell our team to fix the font. What is this? Some 90s font? Like we're from the 90s. So this is the one. Also, JavaScript. Let's see. We have JavaScript here as well somewhere. JavaScript course. If you're new to JavaScript and you want to learn with us, go to academy.moralis.io/js. And you will learn it from me, basically. If you want to learn from me, then this is. Or did we upgrade it? Man, I know I created the first one in 2017. Maybe we have updated it. But academy.moralis.io/js. Here we have created it specifically for people that are starting in JavaScript. So yeah, there you go. Yes. Okay, guys, more questions. One second. I'm doing some bug reporting. Ethereum. See, I don't know why we show this 90s font. All right. Start 3 weeks ago, yeah. And already a hackathon. That's wild. That's good. That's good, guys. If you go into hackathon, even if you're new, I miss your streams. Go. Exactly. Maybe in the next bull market, or actually when it's time for altcoin season, we're gonna do more. I don't know. Tech. Good morning, cryptos. Updates on the Chronos hackathon. Well, we had an update right at the start, and update is that you go to moralis.io/Chronos hackathon and you sign up because there are 4 days to start. Moralis has offerings for non-EVM. Yes, we do have. Let's go here to API reference. We do have a Solana API, and we are launching Solana Authentication API soon as well, so you can integrate Solana Auth into any project. But yeah, this is the one, and I think soon we're gonna add the Elrond as well. I'm new to crypto. How can I make a VR on Binance? What? You want to make some VR on Binance? Sounds weird, man. You can make some coin. Maybe Binance will list. Or you mean on the Binance chain? Okay. So you want to make some VR on Binance chain, I guess, right? Not on Binance Exchange. Well, number one, the chain is the chain. So if you do some VR, you can make on Ethereum, on Binance. Like, it doesn't matter which chain you make it on because they're all the same. They work exactly the same. Whether you make it on Ethereum or Polygon is the same. And if you are interested in VR, then you need to go into Moralis YouTube and check out our gaming videos because you need to learn game engine, basically. VR is made with game engines like Unity and Unreal. So that's what you need to know. And then how to connect it to a blockchain like Binance, that's separate. And it doesn't matter whether you want to connect it to Ethereum or Binance, is the same thing. Let's see. My second question, from a beginner perspective, I find that a lot of projects in Web3 are very similar. Do you think that there's enough space? Well, of course, there's enough space. I think a lot of people haven't really understood the potential yet. When they make a project, they just copy something. So whether you look at like exchanges, whether it is Uniswap, PancakeSwap, it's the same thing but on different chains. And the reason why people make that is because it's still quite profitable. I mean, if you make an exchange on a chain and your first exchange on that chain and that chain becomes big, it's quite nice. If you can do that. So that's like the simplest project you can make. Just copy something, and if you bet on a new chain, it can be a big project. You don't have to come up with new ideas necessarily to have a big project. Instead, you need to come up with use cases. And it doesn't matter if a project is doing already some kind of use case, because you may be doing it better, you may be having more incentives, you may have all kinds of different variables. So just instead of focusing on some idea, focus on some kind of use case. I mean, what do you want to solve? Maybe you want to do some kind of NFT marketplace. It doesn't matter that OpenSea is already big, because OpenSea has fees. OpenSea has a bunch of issues with listing, delisting. It has all kinds of things that can be improved. OpenSea does not have all chains. So if you use, for example, Moralis NFT API, you can easily make a clone of OpenSea, but add a bunch of more chains, because Moralis can give you all the data from all chains. So that's the thing. And when it comes to doing something new, let's say that you don't want to copy, well, at the end of the day, it's up to you to see the potential. Do you want to do social media? You want to do gaming? You want to do self-sovereign identity? There are many things that can be improved, but at the end of the day, it has to come back to a use case. And what is blockchain really good for? Well, it is good for ownership, and it is good for having a neutral infrastructure. So some common day-to-day use cases. Let's say that you want to audit your car. How does it say when you audit your car? Like, you get a certificate for your car. Well, it would be nice if the car repair in any country could just look up on the blockchain when your car was audited last time. What is called? Certifying cars. Tell me in English, guys, what the name is. But anyway, the problem now is that all IT infrastructure is siloed. So by having a global neutral infra, where anyone can check the status of your car, the status of any kind of process, it really becomes useful also in a big multinational process that you have, let's say, some production in some country, another production in another country. How do we check the status of the blockchain of this process? Do we email different providers of different services and different goods, or can we just in one one click, one command, see the status of the process. So here I'm speaking about in big organizations, big enterprise. To produce some kind of product, some kind of good, how do you really align everyone? Well, you have to have global neutral infrastructure for that aligning to check the status of the whole thing. Let's say you want to track when a particular product, how it is flowing through production. How do you know that if you are working right now in a big organization? You need to email, you need to figure stuff out. Maybe there is some system that can show you some things, but not everything. So this is where a lot of great projects are coming out on the enterprise side, like Baseline Protocol, which is kind of what I just said, with having like a neutral global baseline protocol. And here you have all kinds of enterprise involved. Here it is. EY, Consensus, Microsoft. This is key. If you want to learn more about day-to-day use cases, go and check Baseline Protocol. You will learn a lot. Then there is another one. Let's see, Norway. What did they use? Norway blockchain. I just saw recently Norway government blockchain. They had some kind of demo, and I cannot find it now. This is the problem with trying to find. Let's see, Norway blockchain government. I know they use like the ceramic network. Anyway, I don't want to spend a lot of time searching, but it was another good example of Norwegian government blockchain, where they stored identity or something. I find some old stuff, but it's not really this. It's currently exploring. Anyway, is Rust worth learning for Solana? Well, of course you need Rust, but you don't need Rust if you just want to like do a wallet. For that, you don't need Rust. Instead, you need something like Moralis API so you can read the data, and other APIs so you can just show the data. You need Rust in case you want to program the blockchain, in case you want to develop your own cryptocurrencies, smart contracts, in case you want to script how the money will flow on the Solana blockchain, then you need Rust. If you are building a wallet, let's say, or a dashboard, or some kind of aggregator of data, or something else which does not require you to program the money flows on Solana, but you're just reading the blockchain, then you don't need Rust. Then it's pure JavaScript, React, and using APIs like Moralis. So exactly. So probably tomorrow, Bodo, there will be a tutorial for Firebase, how to sign in with Firebase. I know we have finished an internal demo on how that is done. And you can go tomorrow. I don't want to like overpromise, but hopefully tomorrow there's gonna be a new section here in our new docs with Firebase, so you can sign in users into Firebase using any wallet, and they show up in your Firebase dashboard. So it's gonna be very easy. I want to be a blockchain developer. How do I start? Well, go to our academy and start there. We have a lot. Here you go to here, academy.moralized.io. You can do a quiz, what you want to achieve, basically, what you want to learn. And we have all kinds of stuff, whether you're new to crypto, to blockchain, whether you're new to programming, whether you want to build Ethereum dApp or DeFi, we have everything basically. Or whether if you want to build Solana. By the way, for all of you guys asking about Rust, go to academy.moralized.io, sign up for Rust programming. We have it here. You want to go degen and trade? We have algorithmic trading. We have everything for everyone, basically. Ivan, in Argentina, we just launched the biggest NFT collection in the world called Lemon Nation. Nice. On Polygon blockchain. That's good. Are you using Moralis for something? If yes, you should email kreshimir@moralis.io. If you're using Moralis for something, let's do something. Let's see. How can I show you this? kreshimir@moralis.io. I don't know if you can see it. 1 second. Email this guy. Then do you see it? Man, you don't see it. Oh, there you go. Kreshimir email him. Yeah. Does using Moralis make your dApps centralized? Well, you host them yourself. You host them yourself wherever you want, and Moralis is giving you data from the blockchain. Is it centralized? Well, you can host your own node if you want as well, but we're making it as easy as possible for you to host wherever you want, whether you want your own backend or Firebase or whatever. I mean, if you truly want to be 100% decentralized, you need to run your own nodes. So that's also possible. Yeah, but look, it's all about practicality. For example, syncing a Binance Chain node took us like 2 months. And now that was last year. And today, to catch up another year, maybe it will take, I don't know, 6 months or so, because the amount of transactions have increased a lot during the past years. So at the end of the day, you need to have some data provider. So that's what Moralis is. We provide data. And then you host it anywhere you want, but you need some kind of data provider. Or if you don't want the data, that's why we say, we have APIs, SDKs, and data. If you don't want the data provider, you want to be like bulletproof, fully decentralized, well, then you cannot use any service like Moralis or Infura or any kind of other node provider, because it's also data, and they're hosting the data, they're giving the data. So at the end of the day, it's always this weighing you have to do. Do you want to do everything yourself, or do you want to use a provider for something? So yeah. Do you? Yeah. So we work on affiliate links. Exactly, we work on affiliate links. It is coming, but I can tell you that by creating great tools, it's the only way we can get 1 million devs into crypto, by having great tools. And the most important things are always decentralized. When you have your crypto assets, your smart contracts, your wallets, that's on chain. That is decentralized. But then let's say you want to build a game. Will the whole game run decentralized on blockchain? No, you're going to have the game economy decentralized on blockchain. But then you need providers like Moralis or others in order to do, for example, the backend processing for everything. It's impossible to do on chain, or you have to do it yourself, but then you need like 50 people running your pipelines because it is big data problem. Here's the problem if you want to do it yourself. Solana has how many transactions per second? I don't know, like 2,000, maybe more. Binance Chain, kind of similar, 2,000 transactions per second. ETH, what is it, like one transaction every 10 seconds is not that big. But all in all, if you want to build something cross-chain, what needs to happen is that you need to basically ingest all the data and index it in different ways. Whether you want to pull out all the NFTs, whether you want to pull out all the metadata, and it becomes also a lot of manual work because NFTs look different, they don't follow standards. So here's where the friction comes, where we cannot get million devs into crypto, into Web3. So this is where most projects, like 99% of projects, they make the trade-off where the most important things are on chain, like the assets, smart contracts, and then for data, which is maybe the most difficult part of a blockchain app, but also the part where it doesn't matter whether it runs on your server or on Firebase or somewhere else, because it's just front end. I mean, if you want, you could sync your own node at the end of the day if you want to switch. So this is the mindset that is key, that things that should be on chain are on chain, and things that are not on chain, like for example, you want to have a game 60 frames per second, the blockchain is not going to run, unfortunately, 60 frames per second. I wish we can soon do that. But what Moralized provides is basically all of this off-chain capabilities that dApps need. That's very important. Let's see. So affiliate link is coming. How many developers? Well, I think we have approximately 50 now. That's what I'm telling you. If you want to do your own pipeline, you're gonna need like 50 devs. It is hard, guys. It is. I hope it will become easier with time. For example, on Solana, it is slightly easier than on ETH. But all in all, in general, indexing data is the biggest task right now. When it comes to making use of blockchain, you need to index data and do something with it. In order to do something with it. Do you hire devs from Moralis from anywhere in the world? As in, do your devs work? Yeah, we're fully remote. We are 100% remote, which is very good. Also has many challenges, but with great onboarding. And here's where we have taken a lot of time to create great onboarding. And by the way, if you are interested, It is open source. If you are interested in how we work, fully open source. You can go to moralis.io/mbs, which is like Moralis Business School. Moralis.io/mbs. You come here, and you can do our onboarding course. This, I mean, you will learn a lot here about the values, how we work, expectations, stuff like that. It takes like maybe a few hours to do it. Where is the space headed in 5 years? Well, in 5 years, we're gonna have an explosion of Web3 applications, Web3 production apps. Why? Because it's all about ownership online. Do we have ownership or do we not have ownership? And if we don't have ownership, the internet becomes a very dystopian place. Because as you know, oh, by the way, where is it? One second, guys. Give me 1 second. I will show you something. Okay, let me tell you why blockchain is key. And during the past days, my conviction for Web3 and blockchain has gone up like 10x because I tried this thing from Facebook. This thing from Facebook is VR. It's like a Quest 2. And this is not like promotion or anything, but I am impressed. This thing runs without any computer. Like you don't have to connect any computer. It just runs. And man, it is getting there. Very, very soon, we're all gonna be living somewhere here. Where the hell is it? Okay, here we are. Now, why is this, like, if you haven't tried this, you gotta do it. And see, this is how it works. You use the hands. Like the UI is the hands. So I can like select stuff like this. Anyway, you have to try it, but man, it is getting there. It's still not perfect. Like you still get nauseous and stuff, but the UI is very nice, meaning that like the way you select different buttons, the way you go scroll through menus, it's all by like hand gesture. It's all, I think that is the most amazing thing with current VR. And then, of course, you extrapolate that. Like VR now, man, it's pretty amazing. It is still not perfect. Like there are still, you can, if you really concentrate, you can still see the pixels and stuff. But look, in 20 years, think about 20 years in the future. How great will that tech be? It's gonna be fully immersed, I'm telling you. And you should try this, like just so you know what's coming for us. Try this. It's like $500. It's, I know it sounds like an ad. It's not an ad. It's more like a warning. It's more like a warning because we're gonna be living in immersed digital worlds, okay? And of course, just like on the internet, you will create value there. Your social profiles, your data, everything, maybe even real estate on in VR. It is getting there, guys. It is getting there. Now, the question is, will it be owned by you or by corporations? Can they take it away from you for breach of terms and conditions or not? Because it's on the blockchain. These are big questions. If we are migrating into a world which is immersive, fully immersive, we better have Web3. So look, it is a big question. And in order for Web3 to really do all of this, we need to have 1 million devs that can build this, so that we don't have the Zuckerberg tax. As you know, Zuckerberg is not here to give you charity. Okay, he makes a very nice VR headset, but the plan, of course, is to have 50% tax, meta tax on all purchases. Okay, have you seen that? Look here. Oh no, it's not that. Never mind. Let me find some more bigger website. Meta tax. Get ready to pay here. Here. Turns out Meta and Oculus will keep 47.5% of all revenue, okay? Okay, this is what's coming for us. Fully immerse, like very impressive digital world, digital technology, virtual technology, without any cable or anything. Okay, it's crazy. And 50% tax on all transactions. Man, this is what's coming. This is what's coming. Okay, if we don't have digital ownership, digital property rights, which we currently don't, but with Web3 we have. It's good feedback for us exploring crypto. We will restart projects, making them simpler. I know what you mean. I know what you mean. We need to restart projects by making them simpler. So that is coming. Does Moralis offer Oracle services? Well, Moralis does not offer Oracle services, and Oracle services need to be on chain. So here's where Moralis does off chain. Oracle services are normally on chain. So if we go into on chain, then yes. Affiliate, nice. How can I connect? Scroll back a bit in this live stream. We discussed it a bit, but basically you can already now learn Flutter. So go to Google Firebase Flutter and do this tutorial. And soon we're gonna add an integration for Firebase where you can use Moralis with Firebase in Flutter. What do you think about creating a course about all the upgrades on Ethereum layer 2s and layer 1s on Academy? Yeah, it's needed. Well, we have layer 1, layer 2s. I mean, the big, if you really think about like the big layer 2s is Polygon. It's Polygon, and then there are many up and coming ones, like for example, ZK Sync. I think ZK Sync is my personal favorite. Polygon is obviously the one that is already here, but then ZK Sync is up and coming. Then there is Starkware and all of that. Starkware, I don't know what you think really, because at the end of the day, Starkware, it's like another programming language, as far as I know. And it's going to be difficult to build a development community. I'm telling you, it's not easy. Can they do it? They can, of course, they can. But because they have their own language, it's not EVM compatible. I'm slightly bearish on that. But look, if they grow, fantastic. We will integrate them as well. Immutable X, very interesting. It's very simple, It's very simple. They run basically a backend server where you can send transactions to and like trades, and then they just settle it on chain. The way I understand it, it's very simple and it's very brilliant, like thought through. And yeah, that is probably coming soon. Immutable X, which is very good. I like that. So there are quite a few. And there are many also in more theoretical field. You have, for example, on Polkadot, a lot of this theory. How do you make a layer 0, which is the substrate SDK, where you can easily like transact value between chains, but that's not ETH for now, at least. Even if crypto become securities. Yeah, I mean, this is an interesting question, how it will be. At the end of the day, crypto is global, so that's number one. It's securities in some place, not security in another place. But of course, if something is a security, there is gonna be problems with having US companies involved. So look at, for example, XRP is delisted from all American US trading platforms, although the court case is still ongoing. So I don't know how it will be. I'm not a lawyer. I don't know how it will be progressing with whether all tokens are securities or not. But look, Ethereum is not a security. And I think that's why you should follow the XRP lawsuit, because if XRP, that's why I hope that Ripple wins the lawsuit, and why everyone should hope that they can win the lawsuit, because if they lose the lawsuit, then in the US, we have a bit problematic situation in the US in particular. Because if XRP loses, then it's like a gateway to other projects as well. Like maybe they try Cardano next, maybe they try Tezos, who knows? But if XRP wins, it's gonna be difficult to go after other projects. Very difficult. And if XRP wins, then it's a legal precedent, which means that if you do something like XRP did, that Ripple did, and you follow basically what they have done, then you can do it because they won the lawsuit. It's proven in court that it is allowed. So I do hope that they win. I hope that because it is gonna be a win for innovation and also freedom. Because what the hell? I mean, if you want to do something like XRP, why shouldn't you do it? It's more a philosophical and ideological question. Like, why not? They did the token. It mooned like hell, by the way. There are few XRP investors that are not happy with buying it, like in the early stages. It mooned like 400x or something. So what's the problem? Who is the victim? Anyway, I'm not a lawyer, so yeah, I'm not the one to answer it, but I'm hopeful and bullish that the US will continue being the hub of innovation and technology, which it is currently losing a bit to Asia, where you have way more freedoms, to Dubai, where you have way more freedoms. I mean, heck, even in Europe, in Switzerland, in Estonia, way more freedoms. So it is a big question how it will be. But that's the beauty of Web3. It is early, okay? It's early where we have a bunch of questions. Kind of like the internet, in the early days, it was also a bunch of questions. If you host a website, are you responsible for everything on the website? If someone comes to your website and starts posting illegal material, are you as a website owner responsible for that? Turns out, no, you're not, because you're not a publisher, you're a platform. So there we have developed laws that make sense. That if I have a forum, I cannot go to jail if some user on my forum goes wild and posts a bunch of stuff. Maybe I have to do some moderation, maybe I have to take some steps, but it makes sense. So in all new technologies, you always, in the beginning, you don't really know, will this be legal? Will this be illegal? Will this be a gray zone? It is the nature of new tech. Once tech is widely adopted, there is no regulatory uncertainty. And while there is regulatory uncertainty, like the whole crypto space has regulatory uncertainty. So it's something to take into your risk calculation. Do you want to build your career here or not? Do you want to do a project here or not? Because there is some uncertainty, yes. But at the end of the day, I think what we have to communicate to the world is that, look, you want crypto or you want 50% tax on all virtual experience, and we're all going to be fully virtual in the near future. Will there be V2 support for an API for historical balances? Let's see, historical balances. Don't we have that? We have historical support for some stuff. Let me see. And this is, by the way, why I would like these live streams to be hosted by different teams. If I go to get token balance, let's see, do we have? Yeah, but we have historical balance. You can write to block right here, and you can get historical balance of an address on a certain block. Okay. Let's see if I go to native, get native. Yeah, anyway. And then native balance here. Yeah, we also have 2 blocks. So you can get the historical stuff. I'm not sure what you're... historical. It is historical balances. Here is the native balance, historical, and token balance, historical if you specify the block number. NFTs. Let's see, we have NFTs. So in NFTs, we don't have historical. Yeah, here we don't. And the reason, yeah, we need to check. If you want this added, go to roadmap.moralis.io and suggest it. So we have, wherever we have like 2 block, from block, you can get historical. So that's a good know-how, some next level advice for all Moralis users. If you ever see 2 block in an endpoint, there is historical. And if you want to suggest a feature, go to roadmap.moralis.io, and here, let's see, how do you... one second. Somehow you should be able to do a suggestion there. And then our product teams will check. Log out. Oh yeah, feature request. Okay, here. You go to feature. So this is how it looks like. You go to feature requests, and then you create a title and you submit. If you like, let's say you see some other endpoints and you want some historical on some endpoints where we don't have historical. That's the best way to provide it, to provide that thing. How will you prevent Meta for owning the metaverse? Yeah, it's a good question. It's kind of like how we prevented Microsoft from owning the internet. So you remember that in the early days of the internet, Microsoft had a strategy. I love how they call it. They called it extend. No, they called it embrace, extend, extinguish, which means that they came into the internet and they said, oh, fantastic, we embrace it. Internet is the future. And they start building services on top of the internet. They create Internet Explorer, they create all kind of stuff. And so after that, in order to capture an industry, you have to extend it. So by building on top of open protocols like the internet, they started to extend it. So they added like custom features to Internet Explorer so that other browsers don't have them. So if you build a website for Internet Explorer using those custom features, other browsers will not support your website. But because Internet Explorer is like 90% of the market, you want to be in Internet Explorer. Then they added a bunch of other things. I don't know the exact details. I think maybe ActiveX, is that some proprietary stuff? But all in all, embrace is when you say, oh, I love it, I love this new open source movement, let's go, guys. That's not step number one. Step number two is that you extend it with proprietary features and protocols, because you become big, you become kind of the standard, but then you start extending the open source protocol with proprietary stuff. And then extinguish means that like now is everything you replace everything with proprietary. Like you start exchanging more and more open source stuff with proprietary, and then like the whole internet is proprietary, owned by Microsoft. Okay, they did not succeed because the community was strong against that, and developers did not build on Internet Explorer. They started to go elsewhere. And the same thing is with Web3. That look, if developers want Web3 and they create great apps in Web3 is going to be the standard, no matter what one single entity wants. And that's the beauty of Web3, that it's cross borders, it's cross nations, and you cannot compete as a centralized entity with such a global network. A local network cannot compete with a global network. So we have a lot of things going for us, but it's not an easy competitor nonetheless. Do you think learning could be boosted? Yeah, for sure. Learning can absolutely be boosted. Like you have to try it. It is immersive. I think it's very immersive. I saw you at ECC. Ah, nice. Moralis latter. Can you add your own Binance token to a Moralis swap? Not really sure what you mean. We don't have a swap. Yeah. Maybe you mean like 1-inch swap, where we have a plugin. What is the best way for getting first dev job? It's very easy actually, because you don't need anything. You need your own computer, internet. You have to be passionate, create a bunch of projects, hobby projects. You can contribute to open source repositories, which companies have, and they will notice you and they will want you in your team. So yeah, I mean, be active online in communities, help different companies out, because many companies have open source repositories. They work open source now, at least in some capacity. Have you ever worked as a dev? Yeah, I worked at Ericsson for a few years. It was in we did a few things. Number one is we did machine learning, and before that I did some iOS development as well. And this was straight from university, so I cannot say like I was some super duper core developer, but I've been programming for quite a long time. I started to program when I was 9 because I played RuneScape, this game, and I got hacked. My character got stolen because the hacker asked me for my password. I was like 9 years old. The hacker came to me and he said, listen, I will secure your account if you give me your password. And I said, that sounds amazing. Please secure my account. So I gave them the password. They stole all my stuff. So from then I developed. But to be honest, I learned more about development doing Moralis than like being a developer, because Here we've organized a whole team of devs, we've interviewed many devs, we've built massively scalable things that I've never done as a dev before, and I've never done it now either, but I get to see it built. So I feel way better as a dev now than ever before, although I haven't been working with development since 2017. Yeah, so Moralis is for all backends. It's for Node, for C#, for Python. But if you go here and you see we have a Next.js, for example, here, you can, so follow this guide basically. Sign in with MetaMask, sign in with Wallet Connect. Soon we're going to add Flutter and other stuff here as well. So now Moralis is full stack. It's and the reason is because we're focusing on the backend. But for example, if you use Next.js, Next.js is like React. And you can add a backend component there. And in that backend component, you can do anything with Moralis. So go to docs.moralized.io and do this tutorial, like sign in with MetaMask, and then do this NFC gated website. Oh, sorry, you don't see it. Here, go to our docs, do this, sign in with MetaMask. If you are a JavaScript developer, then do this NFC gated website. And here you see how it's done on client side. Yo, Waka, what's up? Sorry, guys, we're back. Is Moralis, oh yeah, this one we already covered. Is Moralis certification recognized in major crypto communities? Well, I think so. Look, we have, the thing you have to judge it on is number of reviews. I think we have most reviews of anyone. I haven't seen any Web3 academy or Web3 educational platform that has this many reviews as we have. I don't think there is anyone. And also we've been doing it for longest. So you can just go here, you can read all the reviews. Like this review is from August 8th. This was 7 days ago. Yeah, so go read them. I would definitely say we are one of the most recognized, but I don't want to be the one saying that because I'm biased. I am the founder, of the academy, but you tell me. Any job for smart contract? So right now we don't have any smart contract jobs because we're focusing on off-chain stuff and integrating Web 2 and Web 3, but we may have in the future. If you want to work at Moralis, you go to talent, even if you don't have any job now that fits you, and then you click on connect, talent.moralized.io, and then you click connect here. Okay, this basically will sign you up so you get all updates from us when we have a new position open and so on and so forth. Proof of space consensus. I don't know it. Sorry. Chia. I should check it out. Ivan, would be a great thing. I like to do a big project when I will be in your age. You and CZ are the best. Thanks, man. We don't have our own token. Oh, the swap in our boilerplate is 1H. Is it possible to use? Oh, so this is a great question. I've been thinking about this for a very long time. Number one, I don't know about the legality of this because private servers are not even allowed. But I've been trying to find time to do it like a small hobby project in my own time, but I haven't. I've been trying to find like how to do a private server, but you cannot. I don't think you can publish a private server legally and like to run the game. But for educational purposes, just to tinker with it on your own computer, I wanted to do this for a long time, but I don't know where you get the private servers or any of that. But I had this idea in my head many times. So as educational project, it could be very interesting. So Viva La Social, you should look into that. Yeah, exactly. So Moralis and Laravel is a perfect fit. We will have a tutorial on Moralis and Laravel coming up. This is again the power of Moralis 2. Any backend, any tech stack, any front end, we're everywhere. That's how we reach 1 million devs. Can a Web 2 Moralis user send a transaction without interacting with wallets? Absolutely. I mean, you can create a wallet for them on the backend. You can use something like magic.link, which we discussed earlier in this episode, or Web3 Auth. So, there are many solutions for that. Guys, listen, thanks for great welcome for our return here on the channel with weekly streams and weekly Q&As, and we will be back next week. It was many questions. I love that. I thought that we're gonna have like 2 people watching because we haven't done it for a while, but you guys are here. That's fantastic. I thought it would be me and my mom watching this. Not really, but it's great that all of you are here and asking questions. So YouTube notifications work. Sometimes I've been doubting them, like, do they work or not? Do they send? We have like 100,000 subscribers. Like, where the hell are all the notifications? But it seems that we have a very nice community, although we haven't done it for a while. Chainstack. Tell us why you don't like Chainstack, because we have them as a node partner, you can say. And we had many node partners writing to us. So yeah, tell us why you don't like them. But don't tell here to me. Tell to Kreshimir at Moralis.io. What you liked, what you don't like. Let me write it in. Kreshimir at... There you go. Let's see. But they have... we would love to hear your experience. Yeah, Google us why you like or don't like Chainstack. But basically, as you know, for the past month or so, we don't do nodes, so we can focus on our core, and therefore we did partner with Chainstack for nodes, because you have to sign up with credit card, and they charged me. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Write to their support, I guess. But it's not good if you didn't know, of course. But it's kind of out of our control. We have gotten good reviews from them, and now we have a bad review from you on them. So we're gonna keep it in our calculations. A viewer from Argentina, what's up, Martin? That's nice. Will you guys in the future collaborate with other crypto projects or crypto startup businesses? Well, we do it all the time. We have now a hackathon together with Chronos. We have another hackathon together with... Oh, that's another thing, by the way. I can announce it, guys, to you. We have another hackathon. We're collaborating so much. Let's see. 1, 2, Web3. Let's see if I can find this. No, okay, one second. Okay, you're the first ones to get to know this. Oh. You are maybe the first ones to get to know this. But we have 1, 2 Web3 hackathon with Filecoin coming up. The prize pool here is massive. Man, look at this. Our guys did such a nice website. Man. Sometimes I'm thinking they should get some Nobel Prize in design. I mean, what is this? It's like too nice. we don't deserve such a nice website. I mean, they are amazing, man. They are insane. 1, 2 Web3 hackathon. Bam! That animation is crazy. This animation, you scroll down, bam, bam, bam. Hackathon prizes, bam, bam, bam. Tracks, bam, bam, bam. So basically, this thing is coming up soon. You have 13 days to register. So you go to moralis.io/Filecoin hackathon. So it's a new thing we announce only for you guys. 1, 2 Web3, bam, crazy guys. So yeah, we partner with everyone. On that note, guys, smash the like. See you all very, very soon. Goodbye, guys. See you all next week. But I cannot miss this nice comment from Messiah. Moralis is really the best community. Every time I get a question, I get immediate help. All other Web3 communities are that. Keep it up. Thanks, Messiah. That's how we are on our mission to 1 million devs. Oh, 1 second. This is from our internal presentation today in Moralis team, but we do it by easiest way to integrate world-class this, world-class this, world-class docs, world-class community. I should add it also here. That's very, very true. Guys, on that note, goodbye. Goodbye.